I go forth as one and stand as 10,000, Maya Angelou. I should not be here. My story dictates that I should be a teen mom, maybe dropped out of high school, on drugs. That I should be my birth mother. What you hear is often played back in my mind in nearly every situation that is meant to shed light on my destiny. I call this the captain and critic of my ship. It's an actual mental, emotional battle that makes me question my deservedness. It's so deeply ingrained in my psychological makeup that it creates paralysis and fear in nearly every situation that is meant to shed light on my greatness. Unfortunately for me, the trauma of my early beginnings happened at such a formative time in my life that it inflicted identity discontent that I haven't been able to shake most of my life. See, while in most professional settings, and maybe even as I stand before you today, I come off as polished, accomplished, and brave, the reality is that I've been embarrassed of my early beginnings most of my life. As one of 3 children, born to an absent father and a mother addicted to drugs, my childhood started off in poverty and turmoil. Entrusted to the foster care system because my mother could no longer care for us, my life changed forever. All I knew was my family. I took care of my siblings. From there, I went on to struggle to fit in. I went on to struggle to find people that I could trust. But most disheartening, I went on to struggle to learn to love myself. Because how could I love myself if the people who were biologically responsible for loving me and for my safety chose to give me up? But here's when I know that there's something greater for my life, because when I was 10 years old, a wonderful woman with a beautiful heart and generous spirit committed to loving my sister and I for a lifetime by adopting us. Now with 5 children, she needed a village to make sure that we could all have our unique needs and interests met. So neighbors, I had aunts and uncles more than I could count, all in our business, making sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. But one of the most integral decisions she's probably made in my childhood was enrolling us in the Boys and Girls Club. There I joined every activity. Teen club, played a little basketball, double dutch, went on college tours, even got a chance to go to Disney World. And this is where I began to feel safe and feel loved and know that I had access to caring adults. It was with the foundation of these early experiences that I was able to go on and become a first-generation college student, receive my master's degree, hold leadership positions in national reform organizations, and what I'm most proud of is to have co-founded with my now husband, TheGifted Arts. For which I am now named one of the Triangle's 10 to watch. I am living proof for anyone out there who can relate that circumstances may help define character, but they do not have to break you. For so very long, I was ashamed of my early beginnings, but now because of what I believe spiritually, I understand that my journey and my story was not my own. It was meant to add a certain layer of credibility for the work that I've been assigned to today, which is to inspire others to live on purpose and to serve and be a voice for young people. I envision a world where young people have the opportunity to discover their greatness and their power and opportunity well before adulthood. Now, I don't know if there are any Oprah fans in here, but she talks a lot about intention, the intention to act, the intention to speak, the intention to receive. And I firmly believe that when you place the right people with the right intentions besides young people, you can dramatically change the course of their lives for the better. So, as you can imagine, the gifted arts is not just a thing that I do, it's who I am. The Gifted Arts is a product of my history. This is an organization that's a counter-response to the stereotypes and statistics that told me that I'm not supposed to be here with you today. Dr. King had many wonderful dreams for young people, and I think he'd be pleased with the bit of progress that we've made, especially for our children of color. But I think he'd be a bit disappointed with the volatility and the self-destruction of our young people's minds as they seek out love, as they search for opportunities to express themselves and discover their potential. Right now, our young people struggle with confidence. They're battling against negative images that are perpetuated in the media that make them question who they are and who they can be. It's no question, or no unfortunate surprise really, that their number one choice for solving their problems right now seems to be suicide. We have opioid addictions on the rise here in North Carolina, where young people are trying to find ways to solve problems, and all I can determine is that we are failing our youth. By not investing in our youth, we're continuing to cripple the growth and ultimately debilitate the potential for society to flourish because of what they're able to contribute in unspeakable ways. This is not a them issue. We hear a lot of them, oh, those young people, they don't know how to act, they don't know how to talk, the music they listen to. But this is an us issue. We are responsible for their outlook. In our industry, we talk a lot about the vulnerable populations, children, communities of color, and homeless. But in actuality, our nation is vulnerable right now. There is damage being done right in our own backyards. We talk a lot about the youth being the leaders of tomorrow, but in actuality, our youth are ready to be leaders today. I've seen it firsthand. It happens every time we open the doors at the Gifted Arts, where Maisha, who was asked to perform 48 hours before a holiday performance, a solo vocal performance, because her peer fell sick, and she did so brilliantly and bravely without question. For Jada, who right before an annual showcase production with the town freaked out, like, oh, I'm nervous about my original monologue production. But she went on to do so bravely and went on to perform an original production for 2 years in a row. And for Jeremiah, who's a brilliant performer, he was new and shy to the organization. He was asked to perform a 5-minute dance performance because the student who was formally with us was no longer enrolled. Went on stage in front of our largest audience of the year and performed so, and inspired so many, including our host of the night, Joe Owens, WRL, that he conducted an impromptu Q&A, one of the quietest boys in our program, and did so and awed the crowd. And for young Nicholé, who didn't know that she'd be surrounded by so much love and that her opportunities would be limitless, I stand. There's power in collective effort, and everyone has a story. It's how we share and use our story that will set us apart. You owe it to yourself to seek out your purpose and then share these gifts and uniqueness with for the betterment of humanity. Because at the end of the day, purpose is not about me, it's not about you, it's about us. It's about others. I firmly believe what Mark Twain said when he stated the 2 most important days in your life are the day that you were born and the day that you find out why. For me, that day is today. You all know your born day. When will it be your why day? I'd like to thank the community, the MLK committee, and United Way for allowing me to share and continue to live out my destiny. Happy searching, and remember to live and love on purpose. Thank you.
Awesome. Come on, let's make it cold.